It's Jersey Watch.
All these promoters got me currently bent, cause I don't even move a muscle less that currency sent. Went from paying that rent to now I live in a pent. Hailing straight from Flint, now I'm the main event. They love what I'm doing, I'm hella fluent. When it come to getting money, I'm in that Me Too movement. Went from getting email to C-mail. Now I get paid every time you see me rocking retail.
What's going on, y'all? Cutty from Cutty TV. We are here again on Jersey Watch. We got another exclusive. I got another good brother with me, Vigilante. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going, man?
So, I mean, you the man of everything. I don't know something you don't do. So, in this interview, we're going to talk about everything from the Forex, because you're doing Forex. You help people get to other areas in their career on where they want to go. And then your own career. You got your acting, music, and you got a sneaker deal. So, it's a lot that we're going to go over, and it's a lot that we're going to touch on today. Let's start with the beginning, though. Nothing fancy, nothing flashy. Let's talk about the grind. Let's start in the beginning on what started your entrepreneurship today.
When I started off, I didn't really understand what being an entrepreneur was in the field that I was in.
Right.
When you are a rapper, you are both, because that's what I started off solely as. When you're a rapper, you are both the most unglorified employee. You're the bottom of the food chain as far as where the money touches when you're a part of a chain.
Yeah.
But you are also in charge of, once independent, in charge of the moves made. So you're probably at the lowest level of entrepreneurship once you scale both of those together.
Right.
So I set out, once having years in the game, to always seek partnerships rather than employment.
Right.
So if me in any company that I've ever partnered up with, I've always said, don't keep me at arm's length. Don't put me in a position where I feel like that you're trying to dictate what it is that I'm doing on the behalf of what you guys have. I would rather not work with you at all if you feel like that you have to channel what I'm doing and filter it, than for what I offer, for me to wholeheartedly bring to the table so that we can both benefit with no curtain behind us. So that's like how it started off. And then from there, I've structured every partnership in that same way.
Okay. So I met you through your acting, though. That's, just where I seen you at. Why did you want to start acting, and what brings the ambition for you to continue to do it today?
When I started acting, it was because I was getting paid more money. At that time, I was a broke rapper, super broke. Taking the bus, taking the train, couldn't even afford a beater car, like super duper broke. And I was having hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars thrown at me every week to act and act and act and act. And then eventually those hundreds turned into thousands. And then I was just like, man, music hasn't even paid me 1.00001 of this. So it's like, it would have been a bad business decision for me to continue to do music full time rather than transfer over to the acting. So it started off for the money, and then I started to love it because I realized that I was good at it. When you do art is subjective.
Right.
So when that subjective art becomes a consistent crowd wave of, we love you, we love you, we love you, you're good, you're good, you're good, then it's like, damn, okay, maybe this is a whole career.
Right.
To me, being called a rapper and being called an actor is kind of weird because I was never classically trained on either one of them. I didn't grow up taking piano lessons to do music or acting classes or go to a performing arts school or any of that. I had a natural for both of them. So when I get called that, it's weirder. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Weird in a good way.
Right, but it's good weird. So.
Yeah, it's a good weird. So that's like how the acting bug started. And now I love the fact that I'm able to touch huge platforms like TVone and Investigation Discovery and be in the movie Little and premiere in movie theaters. And I'm about to do my second animation film. I just actually got that word today.
Okay.
So it's like, in music, it'll take me forever to reach those. But in acting, it's kind of like a shortcut for me to get there.
Of course. Your music is different, though.
Oh, thank you.
100%. With your music being different, what's the difference that you want to make with what you're saying inside of your music? Everybody wants to talk about WAP or drugs or something like that. You're not talking about that. So what do you want to portray out?
When people listen to my music, I want them to understand that being talented is more important than having the clout. But you don't have to sacrifice to get the clout. Like, I don't want it to be a substitution for it. You can have both. I actually introduced my music to a friend of mine that I've been acting with for a year, and they never even knew that I did music. I've been doing music since 2010, but they just knew me solely as an actor. And when they heard my 107.9 freestyle and they heard the new single I'm about to put out with the label, I'm talking about Jaw to the Floor.
Right.
And that's what I wanted. I want to be able to smack people over with it to where they don't even know that it's coming with the new music that I'm coming with. Right. And the message in the music, I want them to know that there's no genre. When my music comes on, you don't know if it's hip hop, pop, reggae, nothing. Right. All you know is dope. Right. So I want to say me and Drake probably are the best at doing that.
He said Drizzy. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Drizzy.
Shout out Drake.
Let's definitely get back to the acting career though, because again, that's how I met you. Mm-hmm. I just want to know, like, what does it do for you to be on those sets? I've never been on a set before. I don't know, but I only get to see the behind the scenes. So since you've been there, maybe you can give us an intake. Just a normal day. Because it's not all like what they see in the movies. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of 12-hour days, 15-hour days. I want to know about those.
A 12-hour day would be a short day.
Right.
So, boy, that actor grind is something else. Yeah. It's two different elements. There's being an actor, and then there's acting. When you're being an actor, that means you're on time for set. You have your headshots and resume on you at all times. Your clothes are neat. Your script is memorized. You're being professional, and you have actor etiquette with all the other actors. You're being cohesive with your scene mates. That's being an actor. And acting is when the camera goes action, what you do in that time between action and cut. So those two elements right there, you have to find the perfect blend for them. There's plenty of people love their acting, but they hate them as an actor. They hate working with them. So, and then there's vice versa, where people love you for being an actor, but your acting is awful. And that's when people have favoritism, when they like you as a person. Right. So, these days, man, every preparing for every movie, and you have to use your strengths in order for you to be able to, and you have to know your strengths. Like, I have the strength of memorizing a script real fast. If you gave me a script right now and said you got 10 minutes and we're gonna film it, I'm gonna get on there and we're gonna kill it. But if you give somebody else, another actor, and you say you got 10 minutes to get this, then they're going to fumble around. They're not gonna know their script. It's gonna take a lot longer than that 12-hour day becomes 20 hours because we have to get their dialogue clean for the entire time. So it's a lot that goes into the behind the scenes. We could have did a whole episode on just what goes behind the scenes as an actor, because it's a lot. It's a lot. The business, the acting, the getting the role, the auditioning, the virtual versus in person, the agency, everything, all of that.
That kind of runs into my next question. I want to know your most memorable. Well, it's two questions. I'm being greedy now. I gotta get all the info out of you I can get. I want to know your most memorable set that you've been on, and then I want to know your most shocking role that you received.
Oh boy.
Like a role you was just like, I can't believe I just got this
role. Every role that I've ever gotten. Okay. And when I say that, I'm the furthest person from a cliche person. So when I say that, I don't mean it in a cliche way. I mean that so seriously. To be born in Flint, Michigan, and then to come down to Atlanta with this many industry connections in music, this many industry connections in acting, and then end up on TVone, investigation discovery, animation films, movie theaters. Everything I get shocks me. I don't believe in my own hype. I'm working. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So everything for different reasons, man. That's another complete episode right there. Where I could go from role one all the way up into my current roles on every moment that I felt when I got every single one of them.
Okay, so maybe tell us about your favorite set then.
My favorite set on background was when I was filming the Tupac movie. Okay. And it was because when I say people love Drake, but people love Tupac.
Yes.
It's two different types of love. I'm talking about Tupac is unconditional. We don't care what you do.
Right.
Love. With Drake, it's like, okay, as long as you singing to us for the ladies, and then for the men, as long as them bars is hot, we mess with you. But with Tupac, he can do no wrong. And I realized that when I was in that room, and the scene was Tupac performing. You seen the Tupac movie?
Yeah.
The scene was Tupac performing, and Biggie came in, and then he had snatched him up from the crowd. I was in the crowd on that scene, and when I say the room, the building was shaking from the street. It was so much electric energy in that room. And this is when you do background, you usually know that when it's time to cut, everybody is just ready to go.
Yeah.
They ain't trying to hear nothing. They ready to go. The director yelled out cut. When I say not one person moved, everybody stood there and said, "Do the next song. Do the next song. Do the next song." We was there for 5 hours after we wrapped, listening to Biggie and Tupac music because that's how much they miss and love them.
Right.
That was a moment that I never, ever forget. That was beautiful.
Right.
So that was my favorite background set. My favorite
memorable set.
Damn, man. I love all of them so much, but I want to say that when I landed TVone for the first time, and I was on set, and I was in the back, and I heard somebody go, "Yeah, Remarcus is now on set. We're bringing him over to you right now." I couldn't believe it.
Right, like this is real.
That I'm sitting in the actor chair, the one with the name on the back, and the people in the microphone are telling other people my whereabouts and that they're going to bring me over here, and they're like, "No, we're going to hold production for a second. He's thirsty." Like that type of 5-star treatment, getting it for the first time was mind-blowing because I had realized that this is like a checkpoint. Right. I've reached this checkpoint now. So now I don't want to be treated not on no Hollywood stuff, but I don't want to be treated any less than this because I've worked to get here. I paid my dues, I put in my time. This is where I'm at now. This is where it's at now.
Right.
That was my passing of the torch to myself to go to the next part. So that's why it was so memorable for me.
Okay. Now most memorable is great, but the type of person that you are, this next question is probably going to excite you. With all of the success you've had in the acting world, are you going to fully produce and act in your own movie in the near future?
Okay, that brings me to a whole story right there. Okay, so there's a movie called The Littlest Giant, and I got that after I landed the lead role of Sin in Active Shooter. The same director did the next movie, and she shout out to Queen. She asked me to be the lead character in her animation film, and I said yes. Once we were in the studio recording, she was unhappy with the other actors who had previously recorded before I got there. So it was kind of like a demeanor that she had that was kind of like defeated a little bit. And I'm like, "What's wrong? Like, what's going on?" And she's just like, "I don't know, I just didn't like what everybody else did." And I'm like, "Recast them." And she was like, "I'm new here, I don't really know anybody." I said, "You don't even know who you talking to right now." So I made about 10 phone calls, and that room was full in about an hour with other actors ready to replace the actors that she didn't like. And when I say that thing went from a frown to a ear-to-ear smile, and she was just so, because she felt like her project was dead because of that, and it just resurrected everything. And the script is so beautifully written. I've gotten so many scripts in my acting career that I'm just like, okay, this is cliche, this is okay, the mom is on crack, okay, whatever, blah blah blah, you know. So it's like typical stuff. So, but with this one right here, it was like, yo, this is good. I like this. So I told her, I don't want to just act. Matter of fact, don't even pay me to do this. I'm going to come behind the scenes with you, and I'm going to put up all of the money with you, and we can put half of the money up. I'm going to do your soundtrack. I'm going to even put my album on your soundtrack. And when we release this movie, I release my album. So that means that now your movie is tied in with my label situation. And we completely went behind the scenes with each other, and it's in post-production right now, and we're currently getting the characters developed. This is the co-lead of that right here, standing behind you. Yeah. And so that was an example of the first time that I accidentally went behind the scenes and started from beginning to end. So that answers your question. I was the lead, and I ended up putting my money up too. Now that wasn't planned. And I don't like to step on anybody's toes when I come in, because we have people to do that. We have people who act, we have people who put the money up, we have people who market it, we have people who do all of that stuff. I just happen to be a one-stop shop with the community that I've built and the type of person that I am and the money that I have to put up. So that's a blessing to be in that position.
Okay. So definitely in the near future, we'll definitely be seeing something come.
Be seeing The Littlest Giant come on Disney Plus, hopefully. Well, that's the platform that we're shooting for.
Okay.
On Disney Plus in 2021.
I love that. All right. I don't want to forget about your music career though. So I feel like I just wanted to get the people in on, you know, your acting, so they can go check out your movies, anything that you're in. But I want to talk about your music because you're so special, because you come from Flint. And a lot of artists, we don't hear about a lot of artists from Flint. So I just want them to get a little bit about you and your music, so maybe you can open up the Flint sound and how it created your music and just everything behind it.
Got you. And I really don't want to disappoint anybody when I say that I am unfamiliar with what the Flint sound is, because I left when I was 3. If me being from Flint is qualified as me having the Flint sound because that's where I was born, then I'll take that. I'm one of those people where I don't really rep nowhere. I was born here, I lived here, I went to school here, I did that. But I don't rep none of that stuff. That just happened to been where I was at. So with Flint, it has a special place in my heart because that's where my dad's side of my family still lives to this day, and they've never left. A lot of them have never even left the city of Flint before, like to even visit other places. So that's why it'll always have a special place for me. And there's so much giving back that we need to do to even make Flint an adequate city, living-wise, the standard of living there with other cities. So I know that's kind of a little separate from the music, but yeah, it's
what we want to know.
Yeah, that's what I plan on even doing with my music money. So that's just going back into me doing my future, giving back. That's going to be one of the things that I do. And so with the music, my sound is just Vigilante. I can't even attribute it to it having an Atlanta feel. I lived in Ohio for 5 years. I can't attribute it to having an Ohio feel. I can only attribute it to my experiences being all in one melting pot in front of a microphone in the studio. And whatever comes out of it is just authentically how I felt that day or in that time period. Yeah.
Now, with you knowing that, it's a lot going on inside of the world in all different areas. Flint, Atlanta, Ohio, everywhere, New Jersey. Do you feel like music is more important now than ever with, streams? Anybody can listen to your song nowadays. You don't gotta go to the CD store. Do you feel like the music that we're putting out and the music that you're putting out when you're in the studio recording, are you more like on it when you're recording your lyrics because you know that it's important because anybody inside of the world can hear your music?
When I first started doing music, I was just throwing out random bars, like my car do this, my watch do that, all of that stuff. The average, I call it materialistic boasting rap. Pretty much like what the Migos do. And so when I started off, I wanted to just show the people that I could just rap. Now, I don't put the message out the way that I want it because of how I feel the people will receive it. This is just what I want them. Even if a person don't want to hear it, this is still what I want to say. So it's kind of like the J. Cole. That's like the closest person that I can really attribute to it, to where even though he knows that people want to hear club bangers from him, he's still like, I'ma still rap like this. I'ma still talk about this real stuff over here. I'll give y'all a little club banger every now and again, but this is what I want to do. And then he makes fun of the fact that, and if you listen to his music, he makes fun of the fact that people want drama from him and that people want to see him do more features and that people want to see that. And he's literally saying to their face, I'm not doing it. And they still asking for it. So that's one of the similarities that me and him have, is that in our entire career, we're going to continue to push the authenticity of us, our industry experience, and our experience with other people, with our fan bases, and what it's felt like to go from poverty to being in a better financial situation and going from being unknown to known. So I just want to, when people hear my music, I just want them to get the authentic experience of what it's like from my voice to the microphone directly. Like I want it to be a conversation that you feel like I'm having with you when you listen to my music. And for you to know that I'm competing on the highest level with the Drakes, the Big Seans, the Wale's, all of that stuff when it comes to lyricism. So yeah, that's really the gist of that one.
And that's crazy because that goes into my next question. I was gonna say, with the type of music you make, you don't make the typical music that everybody wants to hear. So it's like, how does that feel to make you more creative with the music that you're making? So that it's like, no matter what you listen to, when you listen to this, you're gonna love it because it's good. Because that's what J. Cole does. J. Cole don't follow the trends. He drops the music and he makes it good, and people want to hear it. So just coming from you, because you're just like him, I just want to know the experience.
It's actually exactly that right there. What you just said is, what I drop, people already know it's going to be dope. So no matter what it is, they just consume it. I'm almost mad at myself that when I first started off, I was doing that but I needed to, every artist needs to go through that in order for them to get to a more authentic place. They have to know that, because it's always, when you first start, there's always somebody in your ear telling you, yo, if you rapped about this, or if you talked about that, then it would. And then you don't really know because you're just starting off. You're like, okay, maybe what this person's saying is true. I've never been famous before. I never did a show before, been in the studio before. So maybe this person has some validity to what they're saying. Then everybody lie and say, yeah, I knew this person. They helped this person get here. And then when you're young, that just fuels you. Like, oh, word, I can be like that person. Like, the older that you get is the more you realize how much they was BSing you when you was younger, and how they wish that they had the ability to stand in front of the microphone themselves. So they're projecting what they wish that they could have did on you. So if they had a chance to rap, that's the bullshit that they would have been talking about. Yeah. So once you come into yourself, it makes you a better artist, because now you can defend your music even more. It sucks when you listening to your own stuff and you going, damn, I don't even like it.
Right.
I don't even mess with this. So, and that's what I find myself doing with a lot of my old stuff. Like, damn, I can't believe I said that whack ass bar. Right. But now when I listen to my stuff, I'm like, every line crazy. Have you heard me rap before?
I've heard your latest stuff, yes.
That latest freestyle?
Yeah,
you heard it?
I heard it. I was listening to it yesterday. I was doing my research on you. That's how I know about all the movies and all that, the 107.9. And I see it's different. It's not like, yo, I'm in the car and I'm chilling with my niggas and we shooting. It's very different. It's very like, it's calming to your ears. That's why I want to know, like, well, what made that transition? Because it's like, everybody wants to rap like this. So what made you be like, that's not me. This is me. This is what I want to rap about. And you're standing on that transition.
Well, I appreciate you saying that it's soothing. That is something, like, I remember me and her, after I did my freestyle, we was like, what is it about the way that I rap that is so dope? And then she was like, it's witty. And I was like, that's what it is. Yeah. I'm witty. Yeah. I have great wordplay. And I was having a conversation with my homies about what lyricism is, because they was like, everybody got bars, but what makes you a lyricist? I said, what makes you a lyricist is, 1, your authenticity, 2, the ability to have wordplay, the ability to have schemes, the ability to have double entendres, the ability to go off beat, then come back on beat. When you can do all of that, you become an ultra lyricist. And that's why Loaded Lux has the best funk flex freestyle probably of all time, is because he showcased that on the highest level. So, and that's what I base mine off of. A lot of people they stick to a flow, and then that's their pocket. Yep. And then some people stick to a topic, and then that's their pocket. With me, I'm everywhere and nowhere. Yeah. There, people go outside the box. There never was a box. There is no box. Yeah. I just go where I go. So, and that's my favorite thing about rapping, is catching people off guard with the stuff that I say, because they like, okay, he dropped some knowledge right there. Okay, then he talked about his watch right there. Okay, oh dang, I didn't know he had that many girls. Oh, that was hard right there. Yeah. Dang, he gave us a financial tip right there, and they got to catch that. It's all back to back to back. So that's the way that I like to do it when I'm going straight bars. And when I'm going music wise, I was actually just on the phone with a guy named Ricky Guitar when y'all came in here. Ricky Guitar was a performer when I was celebrity judging at the Royal Peacock for 107.9. and he didn't perform no club banger. He performed a nice little soothing, serenading song. And when I say after performance after performance, he was all like, all right, yeah, you know, this song cool, yeah, all right. My watch is icy, my watch is icy, my watch is icy. All right, yeah, we good. You ain't even got a watch on, all right. And
Ain't got no jewelry in there.
ain't got nothing on. But all right, nice little bass line, okay. This dude came up there, he's setting up his mic, you know how when you got an instrument, you got to set up and, you know, all that stuff. And everybody in the club is just like, you know, we kind of restless a little bit. He hit the first note on that guitar, and the whole club mesmerized for the whole 4 minutes of his song. Song was so dope. I said, I don't care how many followers he got. I don't care how much money he got. I don't care about none of that. I'm getting on that remix. Right. And that's what me and him was just talking about. So, and he actually, it was a blessing because he actually, on the phone, he was like, bro, I've been noticing your grind and I've been meaning to talk to you, bro. This 9 to 5 just keep me so busy. And, you know, he was having a moment with me. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to take you out of that 9 to 5 and I'm about to get you started trading on Forex. And I'm about to give you a little bit of the sauce so that you can become a bigger artist and so you can transfer into acting too. That's what I'm gonna do for you because you have authentic talent. And this is months ago, and his performance is still in my head. It was that dope. So I can't wait for us to do this remix with each other. It's about to be fire.
Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. So that was a Jersey Watch exclusive because it ain't out yet. Mm-hmm. We just manifested it right now.
Right.
It's lit. Yep. Another thing that's dope about you is that you have a sneaker deal, which is like I wasn't expecting it when I seen it. I was like, wait a minute. So he acting, he rapping, he trading, and he got a sneaker deal. Yeah. I want to know the details behind the sneaker deal.
Yeah, let me show this to the screen because you could these so comfortable. You could just slide them right on and slide them right off, like a glove. Yep. So here's one of the designs right here. I'm gonna try to get a 360 for y'all. Let me know if I should hold it closer or further. Yeah, right there. That's perfect. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful, beautiful shoe. Super comfortable. Can go with a bunch of stuff, and it go perfect with this multiple hustles crew neck too. Goes perfect with it. Yep. So, what's the first thing that you want to know about it?
Yeah, I wanna. First, I wanna know how you got it. Cause I know it ain't. You ain't just wake up yesterday and they hit you up. It's like, yo, we want to get you your own sneakers.
Right.
So I know it took hustle. I know it took grind, and people want to do those type of things. So when we're able to talk to somebody who's done it, we just want to know how you did it.
Got you. So let's start off by saying this. Everything that we've talked about so far in this interview, me riding the bus, me being on the train, me trading Forex, me helping other people in their career, me building my own organic following online, all of that attributed to me being able to approach a shoe company and ask them, would you guys like to partner up? And that's exactly what I did. So when I went to them, the conversation was very direct. It was very short in a good way. Not like them trying to brush me off short, but short like, we've seen everything that we need to see from you. We're definitely ready to do this. It wasn't no hassle. And that goes into earlier when you said the stuff that I've done that have blown my mind. That's another one. Because I've had multiple clothing deals. It's real easy for a person to go print out some shirts and then tell another person, hey, I want you to wear these. All right, cool, I got a shirt deal. Yep. Like, that's real easy. But for you to actually have an authentic sneaker deal where you can talk, where you can talk to the CEO through email, and where they have a branch they have a promotional branch and a marketing branch, and you go to their website and they got payment plans and all of this stuff, like where everything is legit. When you get there, it feels so different. And I'm so appreciative, on a different level. Words can't even describe how appreciative I am of having this opportunity, because I know I'm gonna make this company huge, and if we ever decide to part ways, I can never work with a small company ever again. Like, they've helped me in a way to where my stock has now shot through the roof on a whole nother level, where acting, music, everything else couldn't even take me. So, man, my bad. I'm just at a loss for words, bro. This is.
I want to know. Another thing is, like, what made you want to go with them? Because it's like your name's on it, you're going to be pushing them, you're going to be helping them build. That takes a lot, you know, a lot of trust. So what started the trust that made you be like, let's do this?
It came early. You know how sometimes you meet a person and you have instant chemistry with them and you like, yo, I like how this person move. I like what they talk about. It's something about them that makes me want to gravitate closer to them. And that's what it was with this as well too. There was no BS that I usually go through when a company approaches me or when I approach them and they want to do a 3 or 4 month trial period, and then they want to give you peanuts, and then they want to give you just a promo code to where you still got to buy your own stuff, and just like a glorified discount. And another thing was that they knew that I wanted to come in as a partner. I don't even like it when people call me an influencer, because one thing that people don't understand is that everybody that has any type of clout in the industry is a promoter. When you're a rapper, they don't pay you to go to the club and perform your song. They don't give a damn about that song. They care about the following that you have. You're a club promoter.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but people don't understand that people buy your clout from you when you have it. So I got it so that I can sell it. And that's how this company right here helped me go through the roof. Now because of them, they were another reason why I'm closer and closer to getting my blue check now. Right. This is another reason. So I really felt an instant closeness with them in the back and forths that we were having. Like they were calling me by my government name. They were ready to get my address and hurry up and ship shoes to me rather than BS me and give me the runaround and the small numbers. No, they've given me the biggest deal besides Netflix that I've had. So that's what it was.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then what do you plan for in the next couple of months that you plan on doing with the shoe company? Obviously, if we can get any type of exclusive, your own shoe, signature shoe, you know, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Nah, I got you. And I got some for you too.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm. What size you wear?
I wear a 12.
Wear a 12?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. So let me see. Okay, let me first see what's already out. So
right, because you gotta tell them the colors that are out.
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
Then you gotta tell them the exclusive.
That's the exclusive, right? So what I just did was we have an all black shoe called the Nice, and the Nice, they super dope. And I just did a basketball commercial in them, so they real good for hooping in. So everybody go to my Instagram right now at Vigilante LOM. A couple posts down, and then you'll see me. The thumbnail is me holding the basketball with a red Vigilante jersey on. So that's what we have so far. And the thing about that is, remember earlier when I said I don't like working with companies that try to limit my creativity. Yeah. I did that without them even knowing it. They sent me those shoes. I set up an entire basketball commercial on my own, and I shot that on my own dollar. And then when I sent that to them, they were kind of like, we like it, but we just weren't expecting for you to go in that direction with it, because when you look on their page, they just have people like photo, shoes. Yeah. It's kind of stagnant, or they just have a picture of the shoes. Right. And I'm coming to them like, listen, I just created a basketball shoe for y'all. I just told the entire world hooping these. Yeah. In the next few months, every basketball player is about to come to this website and get these shoes because I told them to. Yeah. And then the guys were like, and the marketing team were like, man, we didn't even think of that at all. So that was the first move that I wanted to make for them. The second move, I don't want to say it, but it's something crazy. It's something that,
they gotta follow you to find out.
They gotta follow me to find out. All I'm gonna say is that I'm gonna take being a sneakerhead, and I'm not at all, but I'm gonna take being a sneakerhead to the next level with the next thing that you see me do.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I want to know, because besides the acting, besides the rapping, besides the sneaker deal, I know you don't like saying it, but you're an influencer on other people's lives. Mm-hmm. You help out a lot of people. Mm-hmm. What drives you to want to help out other people besides just being selfish?
me coming from Flint and being raised in Benton Harbor, which is pretty much like a second Flint in Michigan, I realized that it's not a lot of resources and it's not a lot of people who want to put other people on. You wholeheartedly have the opportunity to walk inside of a door and close it. That doesn't make you a bad person, but it may build the perception that you're a bad person to the person that can't get in the door. So I've seen opportunities where people could have given them to other people, but they were so selfish that they took it for themselves. And sometimes you suffer more when you do that. Like if you hear a singer, a person who raps singing on a song when they could have just called a singer. Stuff like that. So I never wanted people to look at me in that way. When people see me, I want them to see that's a guy that gives. And when I meet him, I know that he'll only have my best interest at heart, along with his. And when I get around him, he'll tell me what direction that he feels that I should go in if I ask him. And I trust his judgment based off of the moves that he's made in his career. So I've loved being in that space for the past, I would say like 2 years. And I've helped so many careers. In this very station, I just helped somebody get a Roku channel. She went from, our first interview that we did was at Applebee's. Our second interview that we did was in her living room. She had like a green screen kind of thing and then a camera and a microphone. And I told her, when we do our third one, I'm gonna introduce you to my boy. I ain't gonna say his name because a lot of people don't deserve to know his name just yet. So I'm gonna introduce you to my boy, and I'm gonna have him audition you. We're gonna accidentally audition you because he's gonna be there when we do it. So I'm gonna showcase you in front of him, and then after the interview is over, I'm gonna ask him to give you a show. And it was just like that, and that's what happened. And I've been helping other actors get signed. I've been helping other artists get signed. All of that stuff. It's beautiful. I love being in people's timeline. I love it when a person's story goes, and then when I met Vigilante, this happened. Yeah. So that's why it was so important for me to do that phone call, because that was a lot of people's first, and maybe it's going to be their only animation film that they ever do. So if you never get a chance to do this again, at least you can say, hey, when I seen Vigilante's name pop up on my phone, this what happened next. Yeah. And I love that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I want to know your biggest community goal. The goal of what you want to give back to your community. Mine is I want to build a $3 million community center inside of my hometown. For the smaller kids that ain't got nothing to do after school, for the people who are employed, and just for overall, we need something to do. So just from one person who helps to another, I want to know your goal.
Well, do you mind if I touch on yours a little bit? You want to do like a YMCA / Boys and Girls Club? Yeah. You want to do something like that? Yeah. And you want to have it as like an after school program?
Yep, and then I want to incorporate music and business, and so that the smaller ones, because in school they don't teach business, they don't teach finance. So I want you to be able to come to the community center and learn from maybe somebody who's already in entertainment, somebody who's already in finance, so you can be sharper before you get to that point of, failure.
Got you. I think that's dope.
Thank you.
That's super dope. There's so many curriculums in regular school that we need to do away with that I've never used and never will use, and that we need to implement, such as finance. Yeah. So I'm appreciative that you're doing that, and you definitely have a grant from me. I'm saying it's on camera coming for that. And I would love to have either a music or acting branch to where I send some of my actor friends up to Jersey to teach those classes for your people. So yeah, I think that's gonna be dope, bro. And you already got a name for it?
Not yet. No.
Okay. All right, but I just want so y'all know that's coming soon, and I'm looking forward to it myself.
For sure.
What part of Jersey?
Edgewater Park, New Jersey.
Is that close to Patterson?
It's about an hour away.
What about Newark?
About hour 15.
Bayonne?
Same thing.
About the same. Okay, so that's like in the middle of all of that. Okay.
Yeah, because we South Jersey.
Okay.
And that's north.
Okay.
Because I'm from Lakewood, so I know I'm like 20, 30 minutes away from Newark.
From Newark?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, all right. Okay, so shout out to everybody that stay in Jersey. As y'all can see, I'm acquainted with y'all cities. Yeah. So Now I have two. At first I had one, now I have multiple. I don't even want to just say two. One of my biggest ones now is I want to incorporate Forex larger within the African American community and then spread it to where it's a normal phenomenon, to where you can walk in a room with 10 people in there and you can see them on their phone and you know that they're trading Forex. Yeah.
Like, bro, you seen that trade?
You right. Where we just regularly walking around, like when the trade comes out and you see everybody grab their phone, you already know what they doing. Mm-hmm. So, do you trade Forex?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay, so yeah.
I've been trading for 3 years.
3 years? See, it's a real thing, and that right there is one of the biggest things that is stopping the people, because when I have my conversations with people, aside from not having the money, and some of them do, but they think that it's so much of a scam. And when people are actually in it, which is so confusing to me, because usually when something is a scam, nobody's doing it, or not everybody is saying it's a scam, so nobody is doing it. With Forex, either you in it or you love it, or you on the outside feeling like it's a scam. To me, that's a weird space. Yeah. Because what are you saying about your friends that do it? Are you calling them scam artists every day? Like, what are you saying about them? So to me, that's a weird phenomenon. And then it becomes, okay, you don't even feel like it's a scam anymore because you see me doing it. Now, you just don't want to better yourself. Yeah. But you're using the fact that it's a scam to try to cover up that. And I'm so authentic as a person that I can see right through it, because I was where you were. I couldn't afford to get a $500 car at one time. So I understand what it's like to be in that space. If that's a space that you're in, I would rather gift it to you. I will buy the account for you because that's how much I want to see you win. At the end of the day, I benefit from that anyway with the residual that we get. So that's one thing that I want to implement. And I want to be able to give like a lump sum grant. Like, I would love to come to your community center and have a bunch of, I would say 16 be the minimum age, because that's probably the smallest of people that's going to take it seriously and understand the numbers and stuff. So at 16 up, and have like a $30,000-$40,000 grant to where I could give that to people starting their elite package accounts. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that I want to do.
Okay.
Another thing that I want to do is, I'm the type of person where if I see somebody on the side of the road and they're having car troubles, don't fix that fucking car. Right. Here's $1,000. Go buy another one. Right. Just junk this one. I just want people to see more value in themselves and to value the stuff that you have, but know that you're striving to have something better. Mm-hmm. So my goal when I move around is just to make that energy contagious. Right. Long story short, right. Just to make that energy contagious, that you deserve better, and if you push for it, you will get it.
What is something that you can maybe suggest to somebody who was in your situation when you was broke, not now, to get to where you're at, to get the mindset that you have? Did you watch a lot of interviews? Did you have somebody around you that was like, listen, stop doing this and start doing this? Or was it just you? You was like, I want better for my life. This is what I'm used to. This is what I see, but I know there's more out there. Just for people who may be in that rut, who just don't know what to do, what's the answer that you would give them?
You got a Bentley?
No.
You got a Maserati?
No.
That's my motivation right there.
Okay. To get the family straight.
Just for somebody's in this room answer to be yes one day. How many of us, especially in our community, die without ever seeing one, driving one? And I'm not even specifically just talking about the car. Just the whole, cars, anything that you want. When you see it, if you want it, if you can't buy it, then that means that it's something that you're lacking in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Like I got a bar, and it goes, I don't care if they laugh because I get what I want. People so afraid to fail, they want to admit what they want. After writing that, it just changed my whole mentality, because I knew that that's how I felt, but I knew that the moment that I said that on the microphone, now I got to live that every single day. And that's what I've been doing every single day, is living that whatever I wanted, I was going to go get it. She said that she wanted a Kia Soul. It's a Kia Soul outside. She said she wanted a penthouse. 10 months from now, we're going to be buying our first penthouse. Whatever a person around me says that they want is what I want to give to them. If you come around me and you say, hey, I don't have the money, but I want a Forex account. Here's a Forex account. So what you do with that is your business. And I usually only allow people to press that button one time. She's special, so she gets to press it a couple of times. So, yeah, and Thanksgiving coming around, so you know how, we got to give gifts for Thanksgiving now. So that's what it is. And then when I was going through a very weird time in my life where me and my mom was not really getting along, and then me and my ex-girl was kind of at odds with each other. So I checked myself into therapy because I wanted somebody to talk to. And he made me take a test when I went in there. And when I took a test, everything scored right in the middle. Like I'm not too hot, not too cold, not sad, not happy, not this, not that. Everything was right in the middle except for one thing that shot up. And I asked him, I said, what's that line right there that's all the way up? He was like, oh, that's self-determination. So when I took it was like a upscale personality test because it was a legit therapist company. So if I could score self-determination being that high on that test, then it puts a lot of things into perspective that I'm doing in my career myself and why it may seem so different than what other people are doing. A lot of people look at my career and they like, you've done so much. If you ask me, I haven't done nothing. I haven't done nothing. I don't have any leads in the theater yet. This shoe is not the most sold shoe in the world. Like, I haven't done anything. I'm enjoying myself. I'm happy and I'm comfortable, but I don't never let my comfortability make me complacent. And there's always a tomorrow. There's 365 days in a year I utilize them.
That's 24 hours in a day.
There you go.
What would be the simplest way for somebody who is, in a low area and they want to try to elevate to get out? What would you point them to their first step to be?
Look around you. Look at the family that you have. Look at the circle of friends that you have. Take baby steps. Because it's a lot of not doing, but it's a lot of undoing to redo that we have to do, mentally and physically. When I was living in Benton Harbor, I realized that I'm in a gang area. If I want to live like a year more from now, we got to move. I can't keep wearing black and white every day because I want people to know I'm neutral. And then I slip up one day and I just wear something that I'm not supposed to, and then some bullshit happen for no reason. So you have to know that if that's the life that you want to live for the rest of your life, that whatever comes out of that is what you was asking for. And I'm not wishing that on nobody, but certain things come with certain territories. If you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. That's just how it goes. So I wanted for myself early on, if this street right here is Patterson Street, and I rep this street so hard, I ain't got nobody in my family named Patterson. What the hell do I care about this street for? It was here before me, and if I get shot today, I'm gonna be a t-shirt for the next 2 weeks, and this street is still gonna say Patterson on it. And the next knucklehead is gonna rep this street until the same thing happened to him. Early on, I taught myself that I did not want that life to be the life that I lived. Once I reevaluated that, I started to take my sports real seriously. I was a star athlete in baseball and basketball. And then my parents, shout out to my parents, they moved us from Benton Harbor to Berrien Springs, which would be like the equivalence of moving from Newark to Bayonne. Okay. So we moved to a predominantly Caucasian area, and then we lived better, and we lived happier, and we lived safer. And that's the main one. We lived safer. And we actually had a chance to have a peace of mind, because that's what most African American people never get a chance to have in their entire life, is peace of mind. always worried about their next dollar, always worried about their safety, always worried about their relationship, always worried about something. Nothing can ever just, you can never just wake up in the morning and go, oh, I don't feel like working today. Let me just go back to sleep. All my bills is paid. We good. Everything is always a consistent moving, and it's taking a toll on them. But we've become so used to damaging our psyche and damaging our temple that we don't even see nothing wrong with it. If one of your friends came to you and said, yeah, I'm $20 short on my light bill, even if you give him the $20, you still not putting him in a better financial position for next month. You should be asking your friend, why in the hell are you able to even know how much money you have? You should have so much money in your bank account, and you should be so good with credit that you shouldn't even know how much money you have right now. The last 20? How did you get there? Yeah. That should be the conversation that y'all having. And he or she should be so real with themselves and not defensive that they're receptive to hearing, damn, how did I get this fucked up? Do you have any tips for me? When we get there as a people, then we'll be a better people. Because sometimes we always look at a person that has more wisdom as them talking down. You would have to feel that way about yourself in order to feel like I'm doing that to you. The fact that I want to spread this knowledge with you is a compliment in itself, because I wouldn't just tell it to anybody. It's just a lot of undoing to redo that we have to do. And what you said earlier about my music, that's a lot what I'm doing. I'm undoing to redo. I'm showing them that you can tell people about when you were broke. And you don't have to be super flashy in order for you to be somebody. Like Childish Gambino. I love working with him. And Chance the Rapper. These are two of the most plain Jane people. Doing the most for the community and having the most impact and showing people that you can live a regular life. You can be a family man. You ain't got to be running around with all of these different and throwing money out and all of that stuff. You ain't got to live that no more. Being authentically yourself. Undo to redo.
I love that. My first stop on Jersey Watch with you. You will be back, of course, because I know that people are going to request a second interview with you. Yeah. Of course, I want you to shout out your Instagram and everywhere people can follow you, get your shoes, watch your movies, listen to your music. Go ahead, brother.
All right, so follow me at Vigilante, LOM, VIGILANTE, That's Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook is Remarcus Still. If you want to see some of the work that I've been in, go to Vigilante Vivo. I have my For My Man episode there. It just hit 1 million views too. Okay. Thank you. I may have the first TVone episode to hit 1 million views on YouTube. So that's major. And TVone, holler at me so I can talk to y'all about buying that episode from y'all. I would love to do that so I can have ownership of that. Homicide Hunter, season 9, episode 8. I play Ken Eatman, and that's out right now on YouTube. I think it's only like $1.99 to buy that. You will not be sorry. If you buy that and you put a clip up and you show me, I will shout you out on my Instagram. I will show you love. I appreciate everybody that appreciates my art. I have a new single called Find Me that's coming out with the new label that I'm signed with. Shout out CSP Music Group. Shout out Chris Starr. Man, I would love to talk about that situation too. How much more time do we have? We got time? Okay, so so with Chris Starr, me and him, we've had 3 meetings. We had a meeting 2 years ago that I ended up missing, and then we had another meeting that ended up being really short at Lenox Mall, and then our third meeting that we had, it was a meeting about me buying the company resources from them and using them to become my own record label for myself to fund my own music around the world. So when most people have a deal, they have it misconstrued on, so when I sign this deal, I'm on now.
Yeah, most people aren't even thinking about what you're thinking about. And that might have just went over people's heads, what you just said.
And that's why I'm gonna go backwards for them. And then I'm gonna come back to that so they can come full circle. So the label is going to give you in advance on how much money they feel you're worth at the level that you're at. Even if you was to get $1 million advance, if you're not investing it right, you're going to blow it in less than a year or two. So I don't like taking advances. I like telling people, or if you offer me an advance, I will tell you, put it over here. So that way it'll appreciate. So that by the time I do need it, that 1 million that you offer me is now 5. And that 4 is mine. Because all I owe you is that 1. So like I'm just always thinking for myself, because I know that the opportunity that you're offering me, you only offering it to me, not really because you like my talent, but you see the potential and how much money I can make you. So what we gonna do, since this is about money, we're gonna make it a good money situation for both of us. And once I feel that you have built an authentic love for me and my actual art, then we can put the money to the side and we can talk like friends. Right. Whichever one comes first. Right. But we're gonna get this business handled. So, and then the label usually pays for radio play. They pay for them to get verified on Instagram. They pay for them to tour. And then the artist walks away with nothing. I have a friend, he signed to a very known label. I asked him how he got how he got verified on Instagram. He said the label. I asked him how did he get his radio spins on V103. He said the label. This friend, he don't even know. He don't know.
Walk in the room and it's all done.
It's such a crippling thing because I have a friend that's been signed to another friend that's been signed to a record label since he was 9. He's 20 now, and this is a huge label with the biggest rap artists from the South, and he doesn't know how to do anything for himself. Anything. He's been spoon-fed everything since he was 9. So when I come around and I'm showcasing playing cards deals and shoe deals and stuff like that I got for myself, his mind is blown, but my mind is blown because you were on before me. Yeah. You have a 10-year head start. Yeah. I shouldn't even be able to talk to you right now. Yeah. But he can't fathom the thought of that. So when I closed my deal with the label, I wanted to make it known that I'm coming in here as not only a dope artist, but somebody that's knowing my business. And anything that I don't know, I'm gonna be taught. Yeah. I have no problem getting screwed over on this, and this for the little petty thousands because I know that I took care of the $1 million areas. And we're gonna come back to get them thousands once we figure out how you was able to swindle them, we're gonna come back to get them. Because everybody in the music game gets messed over at some point. Yeah. It's something that you miss. Yeah. If you're doing good on stage, you're missing out on your streaming. Yeah. If you're doing streaming, you're missing out on your merch. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's a beautiful thing to learn. And each reach one, teach one. And the game is to be sold, not told. And that's another thing that our community has to get better at with this. Come on, brother, man, just come on, hook me up with no. Because if I hook you up with it, you're not gonna value it. Yeah. And then you're gonna want it next. And then you're gonna want more. That book, if you give something a cookie, if you give a mouse a cookie, that book right there was speaking to the future. I gotta read that book. You never read it? No. It's pretty much about if you give him a cookie, then he'll ask for milk. If you give him milk, then he'll ask for a napkin. If you give him a napkin, then he'll ask for, and then at the end of the book comes around full circle, and then he'll ask for another cookie. And it's a children's book. It's like a Dr. Seuss book. But as a child, when I think about it now as an adult, they taught me that as a kid, that if you give him that, he's going to keep on asking for it, and he's not going to value it. He's not going to say thank you, and he's going to be expecting it. He or she, whoever that person may be. So that right there taught me to, one, guard everything that I have, because the only person that cares about me having it is me. And 2, share it with the people that I know that would share it with me if I didn't have it. So those are just some jewels right there that I wanted to drop on the people. Okay. Absolutely, I wanted to drop those on the people. Damn, did I touch back on the CSP music? Did I touch back on that?
I believe you did. Yeah. Okay,
so pretty much I bought their club promotional team, their radio team, their videography team, their graphic design team, their Spotify team for streaming, their management touring team, and I put all of that on my team. So now they have the upfront money, and I keep all the back end money.
And that's the perfect situation right there.
Perfect.
Because most people, they get the front end and they'll never see the back
They'll
end.
never see the back.
We hear countless stories.
Over and over.
My
and
first
over.
deal was this. They
Yep.
hooked me for this. I got
Yep.
robbed for millions with
Yep.
this. I mean, look at what group was it? I don't want to say Boys to Men.
I know you're talking about the
They did a
singing group.
documentary on it.
Yes, that was a long ass
It was
documentary
on Bobby
too.
Brown.
Yeah.
Who?
Who?
New edition.
New Edition.
New Edition.
New
They
Edition.
did all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Number one group in the world
Mhm.
got robbed for millions.
Millions.
And it's because they didn't know the business. They knew that when they went outside, it was a limousine. They can get any girl, they can get any bottle, they can go to any studio, they can buy anything they want. They don't know that the label is paying for everything, and when it's all said and done, they gotta pay all that back.
Pay all of it back.
So since you in the beginning, you're saying, no, I don't want you to give me everything. I want you to take this money, reinvest it, and then the profit of the investment, I want that.
I want that.
And then you could take that money, you could put it back into the investment and make it bigger.
Make it bigger. Have it appreciate. Don't give me a limo. Give me the number to your limousine service so I can close a deal with them so that I can either buy my own limo or I can advertise for them so that all my limos are free and they become the biggest limo company in the world.
Right.
Let's work it out like that. You're not going to make me luxury. I'm luxury coming to you, and we're going to make each other bigger. That's what we're going to do.
And I think more people need to have that mindset. We don't want to run off and give them everything because we want them to come back. Vigilante, man, the man of many multiple hustles, actor, rapper, Forex, instructor, trader, everything that you could possibly think of. The man of all trades. Sat down with Jersey Watch. I thank you for coming on the show. I thank you for giving the gems. Because people need it. You know, people need to hear from other people who are doing it how to do it so that they can do it also. I'm very big on being the example, setting for the change. If you want change to come, you have to be the change. So I love to sit down with somebody who thinks the same way.
I appreciate that, man. I'm glad we're on the same page.
For sure. So until next time, my good brother,